one Cochran Sports Showdown is brought to you by Number One Cochran, Go One Better, and by Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. Have a greater hand in your health. We continue with the Number One Cochran Sports Showdown, Bob Pompeani, tonight with Andrew Filipponi and Rich Walsh. And Rich, I want to talk to you about another transfer. We saw Ryan Murphy at Pitt decide that, he was not going to stick around, even though he was a good three-point shooter for them. And now we see Trey McGowens, who was really the blue chip recruit coming in for Jeff Capel, his first one and the highest rate since Steven Adams, and he's decided to leave. What do you make of all of this?
I think he didn't fit in. Pitt needs a three-point shooter. They need a two-guard. And Trey McGowens and Xavier Johnson were very similar players. McGowens wants to be a point guard. Right now, Xavier Johnson's staying, and I think he just doesn't fit in next year. It might have been the sixth man off the bench. I think that's one of the reasons he wanted to get out of here. Maybe go somewhere else and be that point guard.
Well, I heard there was some homesickness involved here, Richie. He's from South Carolina. I've also heard that it got very combustible, which is a nice way of putting it, between him and some of the younger players at Pitt last year. Bob, what I wanted to see from Johnson and McGowens, I wanted them to coexist the same way my good friend Julius Page and Brandon Knight played together. Yeah. And I thought for McGowens that meant, okay, so maybe don't try to do as much offensively and lock down defensively on the other team's best guard. And I just never felt like he fully bought in to doing that. And as a result, I kind of agree with Richie on this. Like, I originally thought when they got him that he was going to be the fundamental player, the building block to an NCAA tournament team. And by the end of his stint, I didn't feel that way.
No, I agree with that. And I think
both of those guys.
Oh, go ahead, Rich. I'm sorry.
Both of those
we have
guys,
a little delay
McGowens
here.
and Johnson, I feel like took bad shots at the end of games. They could have won some of those games down the stretch, and both wanted to try to take over games, and they both took horrible shots. I mean, McGowens only shot 30% from three-point range, and that's not what you want from a two-guard.
All right, well, we're going to find out, because now Xavier Johnson comes back. He'll be the man running the machine. We see, Champagne turned out to be a tremendous freshman, and Jeff Capel hopes to get more of those kind of guys in his program starting next season. We'll take a break, come back with more, and thank you for joining us, as always, right here on the Number One Cochran Sports Showdown every Sunday night on KDKA.